Welcome to Tiki Central, Canada. Ever wonder what's in that cool, refreshing drink that you just have to have on that hot summer's day? Me too. Picture a man going on a journey beyond sight and sound. He has left society. He has entered Tiki Central with palm trees, beach sand, blue skies, and God, get me a drink now. Here are your hosts, Craig, Cam, and Paula, and their wacky views in drinks, life, and maybe information.
Hey folks, and hey, how we doing? It's Craig here from Tiki Central Canada. I'll be your host, your bartender, and hopefully information for the hour. We'll see how it goes. As you notice that we are not in the studio, we're actually doing this via satellite, uh, over the internet actually. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, but we know what? We sat there and talked about it. We figured all the kinks out in software, and we said we're going to keep on recording no matter what. We are here for you guys, and we all want to make sure that you guys are safe, and we give you guys some entertainment and information while you're locked up at home.
Plus recipes.
There you go. Yeah. So we got Mark. Here's Mark. How are you doing, Mark?
I'm doing okay.
He's all comfy at home. Do you have any drinks with you, by the way, or are you just like sitting there chilling down?
Well, I actually mixed one, but it's gone now.
We took too long trying to decipher how to use this thing.
Yeah, I'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay, so and we also have Paula, as you noticed. She spoke in there. Hi, Paula. How are we doing?
Hi, how are you?
You hanging in there? You good?
Hanging in there, hanging in there. I haven't caught COVID yet.
Well, don't get it either. Don't go out looking for it.
I'm joking. It's just stupidities, me saying stupidities.
That's all good. We're all, hey, you know what? I've noticed in this time and age that we have to have a good laugh. And I've noticed on Facebook, a lot of people are making jokes and sending funny videos. It is definitely a relief to see that because it is a serious situation, but it seems like we're holding off pretty good. So actually on the show, Mark is on here, not only as a co-host as normal, but also we're going to be doing Mark's Adventures. So what place are we going to be doing this time, Mark?
We're going to be talking about the Mai Kai. The yes, somebody's been there.
Oh.
Here we go. Yes, one of us has been there. Unfortunately, we're so jealous. Well, I'm jealous because you both have been there and I have not been there. So that
Yeah.
is down the line.
So what will we be talking about today?
So we're actually going to do two drinks today. We're going to be using a very specific rum. We're going to be using the Pusser's British Navy rum. In particular, for one of the drinks, we're actually going to be using the Pusser's gunpowder rum that I acquired when I was in Antigua, and I finally found it. It's so super excited. I actually told the guy in the liquor store that I loved him out loud. So I might be banned from that liquor store now. I don't know. We'll see.
How easy is it to find this rum?
So this is super difficult, and I'm sure Mark could justify it in all these travels. This is not an easy one to find, so don't panic. We will give you the alternative rums to use in this recipe. But Mark, what's your experience on finding this rum?
Poor. I did see some when I was down in Florida, but up around here, I'm just checking. Actually, as we speak, I'm checking the SAQ to see if they have it.
What's SAQ?
Société d'Alcool de Québec. They have regular and they have the 15-year. They do not have the gunpowder.
So it is difficult to find for sure.
It is. Yeah, I should have bought some when I was down there, but I didn't.
You ever do that? It's true. Like it's funny. Like when you go shopping, and actually, I heard a stat. This is funny that when women shop, 80% of them do this. They don't buy something, they see it, they go back, and it's gone.
Yep, that's happened several times to me.
I've learned that with shoes. Like basically, shoe companies don't keep carrying the same, let's say, style of shoe from year to year. So when I find a shoe that I like, I actually buy 2 or 3 pairs of it because literally next year I'm not gonna be able to get it. It's not available anymore.
That is true.
So what made you decide on this particular rum for this episode?
So the reason why we picked the British Navy rum is because we're actually going to talk a lot about Navy officers and some lingo on the show. And the reason why we're doing that is because when I was on vacation, a guy named Rob Brunner, reached out to me on our email. And I do actually check email from time to time. So please do be patient if I don't answer right away. It's not something I do religiously every single day. 2 weeks I go in there and kind of check out our emails and see what's going on. And he's actually a Navy sailor, a Canadian Navy sailor that was situated in Saudi Arabia at the time when we were talking back and forth on my vacation. He's obviously back in Canada right now, being quarantined as well, like the rest of us. But I found through the years that a lot of Navy sailors listen to our show, and it just blows my mind that these guys are in situations like Rob is in Saudi Arabia, where you're at a base, it's a hostile area, and you're listening to us because we are like your oasis. We are like your home away from home. And so I thought, what better show to do than to do for Navy sailors and to tribute to them? And so this rum is a Navy rum, and that's why we're doing the show.
That is 100% awesome. I love that reaction, and I love that we are able to be someone's oasis. That is mission accomplished.
There you go. Paradise in your ears for about an hour.
Yep.
So what drinks are we going to do?
Okay, yep. So let's talk about the drinks we're going to do. So we're going to do first, the drink we're going to cover is Pusser's Get Lucky. That's actually off their website. And the other drink we're going to do, we've done it in the first year when we did this podcast, but we're going to revamp it. It's the Painkiller, which is a very historical tiki drink, but we're going to use the gunpowder rum instead of the regular rum. And then also, too, we're going to do some alterations on that. So we're going to talk about that as well.
So, Craig, is there like a origin story to this drink, Painkiller?
So the Painkiller is one of those drinks that doesn't actually really have an origin to it. It does have a place that it comes from, which is the Soggy Dollar, and that's where originally the Painkiller came from. But there's no particular bartender tag it onto. So it is a unique drink in that it doesn't actually have a creator, let's say, of the drink.
Interesting. Nobody like went and claimed it.
Yeah. So Soggy Dollar, let me just explain where that is because we've talked about this a few times in different episodes. Soggy Dollar is actually on a British Virgin Island called Joyce Van Dyke. It's a weird name, I know. Anyway, so the only way you can get to this bar is literally you have to boat up to it and then swim to shore to the bar. So the reason why it's called the Soggy Dollar is because back they don't obviously you don't take any debit cards or credit cards, so you have to put the money in your pocket, swim to shore, and therefore you have a Soggy Dollar.
See that? I can appreciate a soggy dollar when I see one. So, okay, well, what's in the drinks? You're going to talk about the Get Lucky first?
Yeah, so the first drink we're going to do is Pusser's Get Lucky. And like I said, this is actually on their website. So if you do a search for Pusser's rum, you will find actually they have about 20 to 30 recipes. So I went through them. There's a lot of seasonal ones. Like there's ones for Christmas, there's one for Valentine's, there's one for spring. And so these are the two that I picked. So the first one is called Get Lucky. And so with this one, you're going to use 2 ounces of the Pusser's rum. Now, you don't have to use the gunpowder one for this one. This is the one that doesn't have to have the gunpowder, which is good because everyone can probably get the Pusser's rum anywhere you are available. It's going to be 2 ounces of orange juice, 1 ounce of apple juice. And one of the reasons why I picked this one is because I like that it has the apple juice in there. They give it a little more tart to kind of balance out the orange juice. So you got the sweetness and then you got the tart and the kind of acidity of the drink. So it's a little more
Acidity?
acidic. Exactly. I know it's funny how like English is your second language and sometimes you speak better than I do. Oh God, I know Norma corrects me all the time. All right, so then after that, it's going to be a half ounce of lemon juice, and then this one is going to have dashes of bitters. So we mentioned on the last episode with Tiga, the bitters is going to give you a bit of a bite. So if you notice that, it's got some sweetness, got some tartness, and then it's got a bite at the end of it.
And some depth.
Yeah, it's got to have a lot of layers to it for sure.
So do you shake it or do you stir it?
So what you do is you take all the ingredients, you put into a cocktail shaker, you're going to fill that with ice, shake it, and then you're going to strain that mixture into a tall glass, like a Collins glass, whatever, with fresh ice. We've talked about that before, and then serve. And that is your drink.
Okay, do you garnish it with something?
So on this one, you're going to do is you're going to garnish it with a mint because it does have a bit of the bite from the bitters and also the apple juice. So you're going to have the mint and then an orange wheel. Orange wheel, I think we've done a video before for that. If not, I'll add it to the show for sure, how to make an orange wheel. It's very simple. It's not a complicated thing. It's simply slicing an orange in slices and then just putting a little slot in there with a knife, and you got an orange wheel.
Cool. And what's the next one?
Okay, so the next one is one that we've done before in the first year, but we're kind of revamping it and giving it a new look. And that's the Pusser's Gunpowder Painkiller. So the Painkiller is a very historical tiki drink. Like I said, it comes from the Soggy Dollar. It's got some history to it. And what it is that you use the gunpowder rum instead. Now, if you don't have the gunpowder rum, you still can use the regular Pusser's rum. That's perfectly fine. Or any rum that you have. Like a lot of the recipes we have in our show, guys, you don't have to go out and start buying all kinds of rums. We talked about this before. If you have a certain rum at home that you like and that's your go-to rum, then use that for all these recipes for sure. Now, you will find, like we talked about in the rum tasting one, though, there is different characters to these rums. So do know that if you don't use the rum that we use in our recipes, there's going to be some different kind of flavors and tastes you're going to get off it. I'm sure Mark's going to justify that certain rums have certain characters, and if you don't use the correct one, it will give you a different output.
Yes, absolutely. The some drinks are made for having special rums, like the Guyanese Demerara rum. Provide a huge flavor to certain drinks, and some drinks are essential to have that type of rum for that flavor that the bartender is looking for.
Exactly. Okay, so the rest of this recipe, so yes, it's going to be 2 ounces of the Pusser's gunpowder rum. And again, if you don't have that, just use regular Pusser's. 4 ounces of pineapple juice. That's one of Paula's favorites. 1 ounce of orange juice. 1 ounce of cream of coconut is another one of her favorite ingredients that she loves. And then you're going to freshly grate some nutmeg on top.
I want to try this one, Craig.
Yeah, we'll make this the next time we're together for sure.
I actually really want to try this because everything that has cream of coconut usually is my cup of tea.
And one has to note with the painkiller, the 2 ounces or the number of ounces is dependent on how much pain you wish to kill.
Oh, bump.
I'm going to want it with less then.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. This is funny because actually, this is one of the drinks I had down in Antigua at the resort, and they made it. Well, they did have the pineapple juice, they had the orange juice, they did have the cream of coconut and the rum, but they didn't put any nutmeg on top. And then the pineapple juice and orange juice, they pretty well did it like 50-50. So it really didn't taste the same as it should taste.
So maybe I take a couple sips of it without the nutmeg, and then you grate it on
No,
top.
no, it must have the nutmeg. If it doesn't have the nutmeg, it's not a painkiller.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
Uh,
so sorry. Wow, I thought he was gonna hit me from afar right now. That was like so violent.
Mark, was that a virtual slap?
No, it was just it was like, stop it.
Young lady,
No,
go to your room.
that's right. No, it's more of an aromatic than it is an actual flavor.
Okay.
When you smell the nutmeg as you're taking the drink, it just takes you to the Caribbean.
Okay, so Craig, I don't
Yes.
even want you to use your gunpowder rum on me. You can use the normal Pusser's one because I know that you're gonna want to keep the gunpowder one as much as possible.
Yes, that's
And
true.
because I probably won't appreciate it as much as you would. So please keep a little mental note that I would like to try this one. Do you think I
Okay.
would like it?
Yes, because it does have the cream of coconut, which you like. It has the pineapple juice, which you like, and the orange juice. So it's pretty sweet. And the original drink actually is a pretty sweet drink. It's not too potent. I know Mark obviously would add more rum to it for sure, because he obviously wants it more boozy.
No,
Right, Mark?
he needs to kill some of the pain, right?
Indeed,
That's
I have much pain.
The older you get, the more pain you
Oh,
have.
It's hard to move.
Yeah,
oh.
I'm with you today.
Oh, painkiller is a crowd favorite, and you will like it.
I'm a bit confused though, because this is sounding like it's gonna be exactly like the Blue Hawaiian. Because you remember that I told you that I substitute the blue curacao that tastes like orange for orange juice sometimes?
Exactly.
So how is this any different from the Blue Hawaiian? Because I feel like it's very, very similar.
Exactly. That's actually a really good question. I'm sure our listeners are asking. The difference is that first of all, the combinations of the pineapple juice and orange juice. So we have 4 ounces of pineapple juice and only 1 ounce of the orange juice.
Okay, so it's gonna be more pineapple-y?
Right. But the other thing too is that on the Blue Hawaiian, you're using just regular white rum. This is actually a dark aged rum, so it's a lot different. It's going
Oh.
to give you a lot more punch. Exactly.
So even if I don't find the gunpowder one, if I just find the Pusser's rum, it's still gonna be dark and aged?
Exactly. The Pussa's rum is a dark aged rum from the British Navy, so you will get a different taste than if you just use regular white rum.
Any dark aged rum will fit the bill in this case here.
Okay, so and this one, is it shaken? Is it stirred? What's up with this one? Is it like the
Yeah.
Blue Hawaiian that is shaken?
Yeah. So what you're gonna do is you take all those ingredients, you give it to a shaker. You're gonna shake that vigorously, hard and fast. Then pour that into a glass. You can do a hurricane glass or this says goblet. I don't know why it says goblet, but hurricane glass with some fresh ice, and then sprinkle the nutmeg on top and serve. I've actually done also too a little tiki umbrella on this because I just feel this is a very original tiki kind of cocktail. So I always add the tiki umbrella to anything that's original like that.
And it would be pretty bland without it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you said there was mods to this? What kind of mods?
Okay, so I actually have played with this recipe a few times when I did it on the first year and spare time. And so a couple things I've tried is spiced rum instead of a dark rum. So the spiced rum gives it even more of a kick. Then also too, I've done vanilla syrup to give it more of a sweetness, or cinnamon syrup.
Yes, you were very thankful again. You donated some of that gunpowder to myself, and I've already used it in a drink called a Bombo pre-prohibition drink. It's kind of like a Manhattan, but with rum. And I used the gunpowder rum and the cinnamon syrup, and it was very nice.
Oh wow! Okay, I gotta try that out now.
There you go.
You can also play too. I've also played with the ratios of the pineapple juice and orange juice. So if you're more of an orange juice fan, add more orange juice and less pineapple juice. Or in Paula's case, less rum. Again, it
Yeah.
always caters back to the guests.
Yes, my better half likes it with the Kraken.
What's the Kraken?
Oh,
The Kraken spiced rum. It has more of a vanilla flavor to it, and it goes. It works.
I wonder if it would work with that rum I brought Norma, the coconut rum.
oh yeah, that would definitely sweeten it up for sure.
Welcome to Mark's Adventures.
Well, this time, guess what? It's not only Mark's adventure.
That's right.
That's right. Paula's been there.
Yeah, because Mark told Paula to go there if she ever went down south, and she did, so she went.
There you go.
And she brought her friend Colleen.
Yes, hopefully we can get that video of Colleen.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. I will send it to Craig.
I'll talk about that drink at the end.
Oh, you had the drink that Colleen had?
Yeah, it was the KO cooler, right?
Yep.
Well, it's interesting because Paula said she went to it. She's told me in the past, we talked about it on an episode that she went there, but Mark did mention to her that there's like what, 8 different rooms there, Mark?
Well, we'll go on to there. Wait, we're talking about the Mai Kai, or it's officially known as the Mai Kai Restaurant and Polynesian Show.
Which I did not see because I got there too late, I think, and they had already closed the restaurant part.
Ah, so it's just the bar. Gotcha.
I went after dinner. I thought that that's what was the time that I was supposed to go to a bar.
That's so Brazilian of you.
Yes, it is.
Oh, well, see, that's why when I gave you the list, I put the Mai Kai at the bottom and I put the Miami bars at the top because they don't like open until 8.
Oh yeah, that's the sort of thing that I usually go for because our things don't close until like 4, 5, 6, 7 in the morning. So they open really late. So I'm used to and first of all, I don't attend bars, right? That's not something I do. So when I thought to myself I am going to a bar, I was like, okay, let's have dinner and then go to the bar. Treat it like a nightclub thing. But obviously I was wrong.
Well, you told me before that you guys don't have dinner till like what, like 9 o'clock at night or something, right?
Yeah, 9 on a good day.
Wow. Meanwhile, Mark's going to like the senior citizen early bird specials.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, you get 2 for 1 fish and chips on Tuesdays.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, if I have dinner at 5:36, then I'm really hungry the rest of the night because I don't go to sleep until like 3. So, trust me, I'm gonna have to look for stuff to eat all night long.
Yeah, fair enough. I got no problem with that.
That's what drive-throughs for.
Yeah.
That's what's for?
Drive-through.
Okay. I have 0 intention of leaving my house after dinner, but okay. I'm old right now.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
Okay, so Mark, let's start the Mark adventures.
We're talking about the Mai Kai, or as it is officially known as the Mai Kai Restaurant and Polynesian Show.
Very cool. Because like a lot of tiki bars we talked about in the past, they don't have a show. It's just a very small place. You get drinks. Some of them don't even have music or whatever. And so this one is different because it does. It has a very elaborate tiki sort of Polynesian show that goes along with it, right, Mark?
Yes, it does. Absolutely. It's got the whole show. It is authentic. The people actually go to the islands to learn stuff and actually teach it when they go to the island. So it's a very cool place.
So why don't you tell us about where it is and some of its history?
Well, it is the last of the tiki temples. There used to be a number of really large places like this throughout, especially North America. Columbus had the Kahiki, and the Kontikis were everywhere. So it's the last one, and goes way back to when the Polynesian pop was widespread everywhere. The Mai Kai is the place that hooked us on our continuing, desperately seeking tiki adventures. It's located in Fort Lauderdale. The Mai Kai has 8 dining rooms. It has the full nautical themed bar called the Molokai. It has 150 staff. Altogether seats 700 people.
Wow, holy jumpins. That is huge.
Yeah,
Even to a regular restaurant, that is huge.
I know. It's massive.
I definitely did not see the whole of it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the Polynesian show, which we talked about, it's been running since 1962.
Wow.
Wow.
And during the winter, not so much the summer when it's whatever, it has 2 shows daily, and of course, not like a lot right now, and has 3 shows on the weekends during the snowbird season. They have a large tropical garden filled with tikis of all kind, and flowing water, and some of the palms and orchids are over 50 years old.
Do they have a bar on the outside, Mark, as well?
No, they have the dining room, and but you still get drinks. They don't have a bar per se. They have the bar that you were in, and then they have the dining rooms.
So it's still one of those inside ones. It's not going to be considered one of the.
Exterior one.
Well, the inside part where the dining room is, that you are also there to see the show. But there are places to sit outside in the garden, in the terrace area. So it doesn't necessarily have to be indoors.
Okay.
Now, you did mention to me, Mark, offline that something about it has a lot of historical items in there to the point where actually they can't even keep them in location because they're so historical.
Yeah, well, apparently a number of years ago, they actually brought in like an insurance adjuster or whatever. What do you call them? Assurance.
Adjuster, yeah.
Any rate, you come an evaluator. There you go. And some of the Mai Kai artifacts are now in the Stanford University and Fort Lauderdale Museum because the insurance on them was so high, the Mai Kai is uninsurable.
Wow. That's a big deal.
So in some ways, I guess it's a tiki museum, right? In some ways.
Oh, very much so. There's all kinds of artifacts, lamps, all the tapa cloth, carvings, going back, well, to when they started building it and stuff before that. They would seek out stuff from all over the world, and they still continue to do so. Some of the major tikis of the gardens have fallen over because they're 60 years old, and so they put up new ones. So it's a living monument to the Polynesian pop.
Wow. Paula, what did you think what you think about the interior when you went there?
So it's amazing. Again, all of this that Mark is talking about, I did not see. I was definitely there too late. They had already closed off the dining rooms and everything. I just was able to see the first little bar, which is tiny compared to all this that they're talking about. There's probably like what, 50, 60 seats, Mark?
Yep, but yeah, I guess like math is hard.
Yeah. But the decoration definitely is spot on. Like it's exactly what you guys talk about there. Again, you guys have to understand that it was my first time at a tiki bar, and I only had the information that I hear from you two. So when I got there, and it's all like brown and very little light, and a lot of stuff that is very nautical, I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of what I was expecting.
Sorry, you did mention to me that for you that wasn't the kind of the ideal tiki you wanted. You wanted more of the
No.
outdoor.
Yes, for sure. But it was a surprise to me that it was an indoor one in Fort Lauderdale. I would have imagined that it would be something very outdoorsy and tropical in my head. So it was a pretty big shock when I get there and it's all indoor and very dark. And again, it's not my type of preferred bar. I would have preferred the other type because this one doesn't really appeal to me as much. Maybe it's because I'm not a big drinker, but you know what I mean? Like I'll try to send you my videos that I took there.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, if you can find a way to post them, that would be fantastic.
So yeah, so who actually did open this location? Again, when?
Yeah, it was opened in 1956, and at the time it cost $350,000.
Jesus, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, and it was built by 2 tiki enthusiastic brothers, Bob and Jack Thornton. The brothers were taken by their dad to the Chicago Don the Beachcomber, and see, Don the Beachcomber, here goes again.
Back to Don. That's like the Lion King, the circle of life.
It is. I haven't thought. No, we need T-shirts now. Circle of life.
There we go, tiki style.
Yeah. And then the brothers went to Stanford University in California, where they had all the tiki joints along there. And then they did a tour in the forces and settled in Fort Lauderdale and said, "We're building a tiki bar right here."
The biggest one in the world, too.
No, there was bigger than that. Apparently, the Kahiki in Columbus, Ohio, was huge.
Was? Doesn't exist anymore?
No, they just tore it down for apparently whatever reason, just about a few years ago. Plus, there was the Kontikis were quite large as well. So there used to be a bunch of them. There's one in Vegas. One guy was going to have like moats and all kinds of stuff, and that never happened. But yeah,
Every single time you guys mentioned the Tiki, this indoor one especially, I feel like I always had in my head that it was small, very small. Like you always say, like, oh, there's a line to get in and blah blah blah. So in my head, these indoor tikis were really small always, and then suddenly now you're talking about these massive places.
yeah. Like I said, it was a tiki temple, as it were, and they're all gone now. This is the only one that's left.
Wow.
Yeah, because one of the things that we've mentioned before in the past in some of the episodes is that there's two types of tiki, right, Mark? There's the small, confined, you're inside, dark, doomy, gloomy places like Dawn and Beachcomber and Trader Vic's original locations. But then there's also too the very large exterior, or in this situation, it is still interior, but it's a large area that it's also another version of tiki.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't use the word gloomy.
But you know what I mean? I mean, it's just like it's dark. It's not like well lit or anything, right?
See, to me, it's pretty gloomy. I understand what Greg's talking about.
Well, dark, dark, dark and happy. There you go.
There we go. The oasis.
Yeah. But no, a lot of people, especially in the East Coast, especially down when you're in the Caribbean type places where you think of the word tiki, you immediately think of a thatched roof, sitting outside with your shorts and your sandals on, right? So this is Polynesian pop tiki.
Very cool. So we also talked about what inspired him. So what was it like? What drove him to make this place? What was the inspiration?
Well, they would still continue going to Chicago to go down the Beachcombers. And there they met Bob Van Dorp, who was one of the seating captains at the Don the Beachcombers there. And he also shared their vision of opening up another huge tiki bar. And if you remember from Don the Beachcomber, each one had its own secret recipe, right? But it also had its own individual piece of glassware, which I did not know.
Okay, no, that's true. I mean, we've seen that in the past, like Hurricane and the Mai Tai and things like that as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so not only was Bob the seating captain, he was also the daytime purchasing agent. So they'd play a game. The brothers would mention a drink, and he would come back with like a card, and it would have the type of glass, what was in the drink, and where to get it from. More importantly, like where to order the glassware from, that kind of stuff. So Bob was on board. They needed Bob for sure, and
Oh, Bob.
yeah, but he also knew where to get the mystery ingredients for like Don's spices and all this kind of stuff so they could make all the original Don the Beachcomber drinks. So they said that they needed a chef and a bartender. They said they couldn't get the number one from each of them, but they could get the number two guys. The number two chef was Kenny Lee, and the number two bartender was Mariano Liquidini, and they could be had.
That sounds so Italian.
It's a super Italian name.
Yeah. So the question is, why would these guys go right after all this time? But once again, we go back to our earlier podcast of Don the Beachcomber, and Don had lost all his restaurants in a divorce when he came back from the war. And the only place he could go was Hawaii, because it wasn't part of the United States then, because he wasn't allowed to open any more bars in the U.S. So he went to Hawaii. The Chicago one in particular was never really warmed to Sonny, and especially the Chicago manager. So they were happy to go. And so they got the number two guy from each of them. They got where to get the glassware, and they got the trained staff, and they also got the menu artist.
Wow, that's amazing. So one of the things actually you just mentioned, Aaron, because if you actually looked right now, there's Trader Vic's all over the world, right? But there's no Don and Beachcombers anymore. And clearly that has to do with management. That comes down to ownership and management because, like I said, Trader Vic's, they're still existing. So obviously they're doing something right. So as soon as she took over, Sonny's son, like you said, she probably didn't get along with a lot of the employees, and a lot of employees left and went on to other tiki bars.
I really want to know who her lawyer was because this man's a genius.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he basically lost his empire to her.
He lost all of them. Like, wow. Her lawyer must have been a good lawyer.
He was happy. He opened up another Don the Beachcomber in Hawaii. Then everybody started coming to Hawaii, and he was happy.
Is that one still there?
No, they're all gone.
Yeah, sorry, I just want to interrupt. Is that what it is that they're actually not called Don the Beachcomber, it's called the Polynesian Village. That was the name of the bar that he actually opened. So the chain of bars in Hawaii that Don the Beachcomber opened are called the Polynesian Village. I think there's still a couple existing in some of the hotels, but I'm not quite sure.
No, the only thing that was left was in the International Marketplace. I don't know if you've ever been to Honolulu. And there was actually a bar right in there. This big tree, it was up in there, that kind of thing. That's gone as well. And so they did market the name, and there was one in California, and there's now another one in I believe it's on Kona. There's a Don the Beachcomber there, but it's just licensed name. It's not a restaurant per se.
Is he dead by now, Don?
Yes, he is.
Yes, both Trader Vic and Donna Beachcomber both died and passed on. Yeah.
I don't know where Don is buried, but Vic is in San Francisco. You can visit his grave. It's kind of cool.
That'd be awesome to do. Oh, no. Kind of creepy, I know, but it's still awesome for us Tiki fans. So there you go.
Have a Mai Tai.
Right on his grave. There we go.
Yeah.
So what about some of the food there, Mark, that you saw there? What was some of the food that you had?
Well, mentioning Trader Vic's, they have these things that are called Chinese ovens, which you can actually buy back in the day. I've seen ads for them back in the 50s. You could buy these Chinese ovens with the fire and everything's at the bottom and has like an L shape, and the heat goes up the smokestack. And that's where you cook and smoke your meats, and absolutely fabulous. So there's a special section in their very large menu. We're going to have a link to the Mai Kai so you can check out the menu and just go drool. There's also, of course, the bar also has appetizers. Things like the poo-poo platter, the crab rangoon, and the Javanesian beef are to die for. By the way, if you get there between 4 and 7, they're half price, along with the drinks, by the way.
Wow. I'm definitely going during that time. That's like the early bird special.
Next time I go, I'm definitely going at that time too. And I'm pretty sure I got there exactly when it finished, because when I arrived there, there was a whole bunch of seniors that were waiting for their bus or something to take them home. And I looked at Colleen, she looked at me, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if it's closing down. But I guess we had just missed the good time to be there.
It was probably the end of the show.
Yep. Okay. So you're gonna talk about the drinks now?
That's right. Like we said with the Don the Beachcomber, all the drinks are secret recipes. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, they magically appear behind this lazy Susan, and then the bikini-clad girls bring them to your table.
I saw those.
Yeah, very nice. It's been the same costumes since, well, forever. And but as you saw, there's nobody actually mixing drinks behind the bar. They're all hidden.
He's hidden inside the inside of the
Yeah.
bar. He's definitely not behind the bar like Craig is.
Yeah.
But again, I think because I was there at an hour that was bothering them,
A later time, right.
that he was coming in and out. Like he was definitely having an off day.
But I do know that there's numerous bartenders back there, and there's actually 2 bars. There's one bar for the lounge that you were in. There's another bar just for the dining room.
Yeah.
So it's like, actually, there'll be a link to the PDF file of the actual menu that'll be up on the website there as soon as we're done. And it's not something you can easily smuggle out in your handbag. It's pretty huge.
It is huge. It really is massive.
I have one.
Wow. I took a picture.
You have to talk to people, and then they'll eventually sell you if you're good. So that's not a problem.
Now, Mark, how many drinks would you say are on this menu?
I think there's about 80 plus the rums and then the martinis and things like that. But the cocktails are segregated into mild, medium, or strong, and you can go. And there's also after dinner cocktails as well.
Now, Paula, did you notice that when you're looking at the menu, like the different grades of potency?
I did not. For sure I did not. I'm looking for my picture of the cocktail drinks to see if I can tell now, looking back at it, what Mark's talking about, and I can't.
Because your friend had a pucker face, right, when she drank her drink.
Literally looking back at the photos and the videos to see if I can decipher anything. Oh, here's the good picture of I could not find the amount of booze that each one would have.
No, it doesn't actually list it. It just says strong, medium, or mild. They're right across the top. Any rate.
Oh, there it is. Mild tropical drink. Oh, I didn't see that at all, even though it's huge. Wow, I actually see it now on the picture. I'm looking at the picture that I took of the menu, and I see that mild, medium, and strong. Wow.
There you go.
So here's the thing, though. I ordered something that wasn't on the menu anyways, which was the Blue Hawaiian. So it didn't really mean anything to me to look at the menu, right? So I really didn't.
But your friend though did though, right?
Yeah. Well, Colleen, yeah, she looked through the menu, but we didn't really have this discussion like, oh, which one's is it going to be? Are you going for the strong, mild, or medium? She just chose one that sounded good for her, and she had it. She thought it was quite good, I think. I don't. What was the name of the one she had?
Well, when you got back here, you said it was called the KO cooler, which is based on the QB cooler, I believe. That was the original Don the Beachcomber one. And it's a very strong drink. It's got it's got orange juice, lime juice, grapefruit juice, laburnum, honey mix, an ounce of old rum, an ounce of Demerara rum, and a half ounce of 151 proof rum.
Whoa.
That's only a quarter ounce less than a zombie. Now, if you want to see somebody who doesn't like strong drinks, try it. You'll see a nice video if we can get it up there.
Me and Colleen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pucker face.
Oh, but she likes strong booze.
Well, that's essentially the equivalent, almost the equivalent of a zombie in a what do you call it? There, the old-fashioned glass.
Yeah, to me it was an offense to my taste buds. She actually powered through the whole thing, like, she actually enjoed it.
Oh,
To
there
me
you go.
to me, it was like, "Oh, you're killing me."
Yeah. Oh, good. I thought she didn't like it, but that's why.
No.
That face was how strong it was. She definitely ordered a strong drink.
Yeah.
The second strongest drink on the menu, I think.
See, but you know that right now. When we're sitting there, it says KO Cooler, and this is what is literally written about it. Heavily bodied and browny, but smooth, a formidable opponent. That's it.
Yeah, under strong.
It doesn't say anything that comes in it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just telling you, it is strong.
It's secretive. Hello.
It's a secret recipe.
Oh.
Yeah, historically, there's two drinks that actually put the Mai Kai on the map. One was called the Derby Daiquiri, similar frozen drink to the regular daiquiri, only they use Mariano put orange juice in it. It was for the Florida Derby race to compete with the Kentucky Derby, so they could have their own drink as well. Hugely popular. And the other event that they have there is a thing called a mystery bowl. So it's a typical bowl drink, except they have a lovely clad lady come out, the sound of a gong, and she delivers some flowers and the big bowl to somebody's table, and then silently walks away again. It's pretty cool. It's part of the Mai Kai. The Mystery Girl has been around since the late 50s. It's actually, I have a Playboy upstairs with the original Mystery Girl in it.
Of course.
I was gonna say that. Are they, like, supposed to be super hot or something?
Yeah, 1955 this one was. So not 55, 59, sorry. Of course they're hot. It's supposed to be. So for me, the drinks that I like there are the Black Magic. It's got some coffee in it. It's pretty cool. The Barrel o' Rum, which is kind of like a Navy grog, only they have a Navy grog, but the Barrel o' Rum has got lots of things. And something called the Hukalau, which is a recent drink there. The better half, their sheer favorites are the Mai Kai Special and the Oh So Deadly.
What's in the Hukalau?
What's in the Hukalau? I forget. There's a whole bunch of stuff. It's more pineapple-y and fruity, but
Wait. Do you forget, or you just don't remember?
I don't remember. It's kind of like we haven't done that drink yet, the Chief Lapu Lapu.
We have done it.
Have we? That was before me. Yeah, so it's kind of like a Chief Lapu Lapu. Now that I look back, yes, you have.
So I was going to ask you. So where would you get information other than your page? We're going to put on our website, Mark. Where could people get information?
Okay, there'll be a link to the Mai Kai. There'll be a link to the PDF file for the menu. There'll also be the recipe for the Derby Daiquiri. One of the other places is a gentleman that's there all the time called Jim Hurricane Hayward, and he has a place called the Atomic Grog. Not only does it have a bunch of stuff for Tiki, it also has all his tribute recipes for the Mai Kai, where he sits at home and tries to figure out what the ingredients actually are. That's where I was able to get the ingredients for the KO cooler. So all his stuff is there. A gentleman by the name of Tim Swanky Glasner has written a book on the Mai Kai called History and Mystery of the Iconic Restaurant. You can get that at Amazon or a couple other places. And also, Jeff Berry has a chapter on Mariano in Sippin' Safari. And of course, the Mai Kai itself has all kinds of links for the food and all kinds of good stuff. And so the Mai Kai, along with Tiki Tea in LA, are now the only places with a direct link back to the original Don the Beachcombers and the Rum Rhapsodies from way back when.
So these are just basically historical, like almost like you said, tiki temples in some ways.
Well, this one is more of a temple because it's so freaking huge.
Right. So, I mean, if you actually are new to tiki, this is one of the cool places you definitely want to check out and see the whole, get the whole package, right?
Oh, yeah, because we heavily into mid-century pop and architecture and all that kind of stuff. And we walked into this place and we were hooked. Then we started going to more and more and more
Yeah,
places.
make sure to go at the time of day that Mark's telling you to and not whenever I went, because it's definitely a night and day experience. When I went, it was nothing of what Mark's talking about, so make sure you go at what time, Mark?
I'll go anytime, just to make sure the show is on. Like even things like the ladies' bathroom. I think we talked about this on another show. If you go into the shop, you'll see all this. They used to have a Thailand room. It was one of the dining rooms, and they have all the architecture in there. Is all the carvings and everything is all from that Thai area. And but that envelops also into the ladies' bathroom.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing though. I wasn't even allowed to I didn't know there was a gift shop or anything because they had closed everything beyond that bar. I was only allowed in that bar. So that's what I mean. Like people should go at a earlier hour when everything's still open.
Yeah, I think what she's trying to say, Mark, is that if you want to see the show or you want to see the gift shop, that you probably should go at an earlier time than Paula went.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to see everything and take your time, see the gardens, definitely go earlier.
And have people with a better mood treat you well.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah. So something was really it must have been really off that day. If they are such a happy place like Mark is painting it, and I believe Mark, like there was something really, really off that specific day that Colleen and I were there.
But you said yourself, though, you said that you want to go back and give it a second try,
I
right?
would. I would. I think it's gonna be hard convincing Colleen because well, probably I could convince her because she was 100% sure that it was the girl that was serving us that ruined our experience. Because the girl was very she wasn't putting any effort in telling us what sort of drink we were ordering. Because here's the thing, it's very hard for me to order a drink based on what they write, like, "Oh, it's just a formidable opponent." Like, "Okay, what's in like, I need to know at least what's it gonna taste like." Like, I have a hard time. So I'm there asking the girl to help me, and she's, there, like, sounding dumb as a door.
Right. No, I get that because I've gone to like when I go to bars and I look at their menus. If they're not giving me like some of the ingredients that are going to be in that drink, I'm kind of hesitant to order because I'm kind of like you. I want to know at least a couple of the ingredients that are going to be in there. Like, is it going to be more of a tart drink? Is it going to be more a sweet drink? Is it going to be
Exactly.
more boozy? So you do kind of want to know what's in the drink, just the basic stuff, anyways.
So then you know what I did after I was obviously thankfully able to order the Blue Hawaiian, which I did not like their version. I like yours much better.
Yay!
Yeah. So what I did was after we left there, the next day I needed to go look for your booze and Norma's booze anyways. So I went to the liquor store and I bought little bottles of blue curacao and everything that goes on the blue Hawaiian. And I made Colleen your drink, your version. And then she's like, "Oh, I can see now why you like this." And I'm like, "Yep." So we had in her balcony a Craig's blue Hawaiian.
There you go. Without the bartender. Wait a minute. Hello.
Yep.
Am I out of a job now?
It was just me. But yeah, I would definitely give it another go, on a more decent hour for sure.
That's awesome. Okay, so that's some information about the Mai Kai, and thank you, Mark, for doing your usual research quotations.
Oh yeah, it's so hard for him, poor thing.
Yeah, I know it's horrible. I think I've only been there about 8 times now, maybe 10.
Oh
See,
my God.
I definitely need to give it another go. Definitely go there for dinner.
Oh no, even Norma, she's like saw some videos from there, and she's like, we definitely need to go. So if we're in that area, we're definitely going for sure.
Yeah, maybe we should go together to that area.
Hey, like a Tiki Central road trip. There we
Yep,
go.
but we fly because I'm not driving all the way to Florida.
No, me neither. I can't do that. I can't picture us all in a car for like 10 hours.
Come on, the Tiki Volkswagen microbus. That would be awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
Oh God.
We would need one of those RVs though.
For sure. Cool. So anyway, all that information will be on Mark's page. We'll update that. So if you're looking for anything on Mai Kai, definitely go to Mark's page.
Did you know?
I did not.
I did not.
Not quite as amusing as it normally is because we're not in the studio, but hey, it's a good attempt.
You could make it just one sound together.
No, I know. I just say it's different where we're in our own studio looking at each other. We can interact much better than being in a room looking at a wall and talking online. So it's a different scenario for sure. So did you know we're going to talk about Navy terms because, like I said, this show is basically dedicated to all the Navy sailors and soldiers out there. And thanks to Rob Brunner, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly, by the way, Rob. He reached out and he actually gave me like huge, massive document of Navy terms that they use in the past and even today on their ships. So we're going to go through some couple cool ones that I picked out. We will actually have a page specifically linked on this episode. You can go and check out all, I think it's like 40 or 50 terms that he gave me. Thanks to Rob for that. And yeah, check them out. So the first term we're going to use or we're going to check out is called "oh sewn up." So does anyone have any clues to what that means?
Does it have anything to do with the sailor's pants?
That's right, your pants ripped. I'm all sewn up. Yeah, good one. No, so what it means is that back in the days, when a sailor would die on a ship or a pirate, even because I'm like, how I'm into pirates, what they would do is they'd sew them up in canvas and then attach weights to this, so they would sink to the bottom of the sea when they threw them overboard to make sure that they wouldn't float. So now, what that means now in today's terms on boats means a task done. So it means that you've got something, you've done it, and it's all sewn up.
Very cool.
All right, so the next one is "as the crows flies." So anyone have any thoughts about this one?
Well, now it means how the distance between here and there, in a straight line. So I have no idea what a Navy term would be for that.
So the term back in the days, what they would do on their ships, if say, because remember we talked about these journeys across the Atlantic were very long, and sometimes you would not know when you're going to actually see land. So what they would do is you have cages of crows on the ship, and they thought they were kind of close. What they would do is release the crows, and then they were almost like the compass for the ship because the crows would fly towards land. So if they were say off on their direction, they would actually change their direction and follow the crows to the nearest land.
That's unbelievable. That's just so cool.
I wonder if they were kept in the crow's nest.
Good question. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. So let's go on to the next one. The next one is a term that it means something completely different today than obviously back then. And that's the black book. So if you're a guy, remember in high school and you've got your little black book. Mark, what do you, we obviously, we as guys, we know what this means.
Yeah, like I said, it's the book that has all the prices for autos if you have a automobile accident.
Why do I feel that that's not the case at all?
Well, if you got a Lamborghini or you got a beat up Volkswagen, like they're different models, right? So
I don't know. I feel like you two are joking with me with that one.
Oh, I totally are. I mean, well, because what it was is that obviously, like we're talking about, is that you date someone or you see someone and you write them in your black book and you put stars beside them. So if they're like a really good date, you put 5 stars. If it's a crappy date, you put like 0 stars or 1 star. Like how you do your pucker faces. This is sort of the same rating system for guys when it comes to the girls, right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So what it meant back then, though, in the 1300s, though, is that there was a collection of maritime laws and conduct that would be in a little black book for the admiral. And so if you didn't follow these rules, there'd be punishments to whatever rule you didn't follow. In today's world on the Navy ships, what it means is that you've done something wrong or offended somebody. So if you're in someone's black book on a Navy ship, that's not a good thing. It's actually the reverse. It's a bad thing.
Oh, I don't want to do that. The Admiral hates me.
That's it. I pissed him off. I'm sorry. Here's my rum rations. I'll give you all the rum for the next week. All right. So this one's most of us Canadians I'm sure we've used here and there. Cup of Joe. So what do you guys think that means?
I've never heard that expression in my life.
Well, here it's a cup of coffee, but I have no idea why that would relate to the Navy.
Yeah, so what it is back in 1930s and 40s, the Secretary of the American Navy, Joseph Daniels, actually abolished officers drinking wine or any strong spirits on the boats. And so the strongest drink you could have was coffee. And so the cup of coffee became known as a cup of Joe. So it's actually named after somebody. So yeah, like you said, now in today's age, I mean, if you go to, say, Tim Hortons or a coffee shop, give me a cup of Joe, it means strictly coffee.
I did not know that.
Well, that's what this segment's about. Oh, God. All right, let's do the last one here. So the last one's pretty cool. We've all heard this before. Can't make heads or tails of it. Does anyone think what they know about that one?
Well, heads and tails is usually beginning or end, right?
True.
I can't make heads or tails of her answer.
Yeah, so what it was is that on the Navy ships, you had these guys, their job was to signal from ship to ship, like communication. And so what it was is that a signalman on the ship who was unable to make sense of the distant ship's signals or flag signals. And so what it was is that the top of the flag is actually called the head, and the bottom of the flag is actually called the tail. So that's where the term came from. Can't make heads or tails. It actually is a Navy term that now we have obviously used in society or like you said, doesn't make sense or I don't understand.
Very cool.
It's always cool to see these like phrases. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever done this. I've done this where I've gone in and checked like the origin of a really weird phrase. So I'll give you an example. Who let the cat out of the bag? Term we've all heard, right? Cat out of the bag. So I went and researched its origin. And what it was is that back in the Asian days in the market, you would actually put produce like chickens or pigs or whatever, and you put them in a bag. Now the bag was not clear. You couldn't see it, what was in the bag. And so they would sell these bags. They would have cats in them and sell them as chickens. They tell the person like, "Oh yeah, I got a chicken in here for you, and it's so many, shingles or whatever the price was." So what they would do to make sure they wouldn't get tricked and that there wasn't a dead cat in there, they say, "Let the cat out of the bag."
I wouldn't want a cat if I was asked for a chicken.
Who would?
Especially this day and age, right? Like, okay, I don't need questionable food right now. Like.
Very cool. All of them. I like looking through the list on the site. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, like I said, so there's about 40 or 50 terms that Rob sent me. So we're going to put that into a separate page. You can always go check it out. So these are all either historical terms or even used today in Navy purposes. And so we're going to do that. And again, thank you, Rob, for doing that. So let's tell everybody who we are. We are www.tikicentralcanada.ca
Or .com.
or all one word. That's what happens when we're not in the studio. We're like we have hand signals to each other, so now we can't see each other. It's like we're all thrown off here. Anyways, so on that main page, you will see the episode that we're talking right now, and also the recipes to this episode. Paola has her page on there. I take it there obviously is no picky pear adventures on right now.
No.
I know you guys have gone from a zillion trips a year to zero right now.
Yeah. And that's sad because we had the Los Angeles one very soon where we were going to go to Mark's favorite.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Because like actually, if Paul hasn't explained on the show before, Justin, part of his job is traveling. And so
Yes.
this is why these guys go to all these different exotic locations around the world because he works. And then also too, there'll be Mark's page on there. So Mark's Adventures, everything we talked about today will be on that page. So all the information you want about the Mai Kai will be there. And then also too, there is upcoming shows we're going to be doing. I think anything on that main page. So in other words than that, we also have the episode page. We also have the recipe page. So all the recipes that we do on the show are on there. And I think that's the most hit page of all the pages we do because everyone always asks me about new recipes, especially with the summer coming up. Don't forget, guys, if you haven't listened to already, we just did the Jukebox Tiki music one. So it's a good one. And thanks to Paula, by the way. Thank you for suggesting Spotify. So I actually have set up the Spotify lists.
Yay. What's the name of the list? I wanna see it.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. And so that Mark has his list, I have my list, and we're going to always be upgrading those all the time. So, Mark, whenever you have any new songs you want to add to that, we'll definitely add them on.
Okay. Sounds awesome.
Like I said, well, because remember correctly, we went from like, I don't know about you, but I had like 50 songs and I had to narrow it down to 10. So it was very hard. So we always could just add more onto that list if we want to.
That would be great.
And we also have a subscribe page. So please do subscribe, folks.
Please.
Please. We are actually, I'm very super excited about it. I think I've talked to both you guys about this already. We're actually talking to a branding company right now that is possibly looking at branding us. So I'm super stoked. I'm hoping it's going to go through. We'll see. So that might mean there might be some commercials, but I'm going to do my best to make sure that it's not going to interrupt the show in any way. So in other words, the commercials will be at the very beginning or at the very end, or maybe us just mentioning the product. But I'm going to make sure that it doesn't, because I know about you guys, I listen to podcasts, and nothing worse than every 2-3 minutes is a new commercial in there, and it just throws me off, and I don't want to listen to it anymore. So we're going to make sure that we still keep our content the way it is. We're not going to change anything, and we're just simply just going to add in like a little insert of branding. That's it.
Cool.
Cattle get branded.
Yeah, that's right. Ouch. That sounds painful.
Yeah. Tiki logo on my shoulder. Oh.
The Tiki tattoo. Here we go. Oh, God. Also, too, don't forget, if it hasn't gone by already, because I'm not quite sure when this will be released, that there is the contest for the CD from the Tiki Jukebox show that we did that Mark brought in, the rare CD. If you haven't got on our website yet or any of the social platforms, you will see the contest on there. So do apply. And we will be announcing the winner for that. I think it's mid to end of May. So definitely get your votes in there. And Marcus, thank you for donating the CD. And we'll definitely add that as part of the contest.
All right.
Sweet. Yes, it's so weird because like when we're in the studio, we're like chatty Cathy. And then when we're on here, everyone's like all quiet. It's like...
Yeah. Well, you don't want to interrupt.
No, I get it. No, it's just so funny. It's like this is so like out of character for Paola because like it's all she's just like it's hilarious because like we talked about it before we recorded. She's flatlining and it's almost like
Is she there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I just don't understand. What are you guys talking about?
Nothing right now.
I'm just saying is that normally you are very vocal on the show, like you're very interjecty, and so like it's just a weird scenario to see you very quiet. It's just it's a different taste.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Yes, guys, thank you, and keep on listening, guys. We'll be going back in the studio after this, so this hopefully is the only show we're going to do this way.
Hopefully.
So yes, so do stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Aloha.
Well, I don't know about you, but I got informed. Guys, hey, guys, where's my drink?
You're an old man now.
I know.
You could actually, perish with corona. You have to
I
be
know.
careful.
Perish?
Parish.
Perishable? I have a due date.
Isn't that what people
Mark,
say?
expiry date.